Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT news. Loads going on right now on the rostermania side of things. We talked about some rumours yesterday. Today we have some confirmation. Hazed to NRG. What does this mean for TSM? What does this mean for the NRG roster? And what does it potentially mean for Steel with the options that were on the table for him? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people. Please consider subscribing as well if you haven't already. Loads of new subs the last couple of days. Just love to see it. Firstly, from the G2 side, we saw yesterday Coldamenta, Keylocks, apparently they're out of the squad. The analyst is gone, the coach is gone. It's chaos over there. Avova, though, seems to be staying, as he says. The wheel of change is coming around once again, and G2 have kindly allowed me to, and you would usually expect something like explore options outside of the team or something. Change my sensor, 0.377 DPI. I'll be looking forward to playing with the same sets for 2022. See you soon. So yeah, Avova, he's back on the squad. He's going to be continuing on, and we imagine Mixwell's still going to be there. We imagine Nuki's still going to be there, but the rest of the squad very much undetermined. The rumor has it maybe picking up a couple of guys from the Giants gaming roster, but what they're going to do in terms of their their agent stuff and their composition, that remains to be seen. This also from the BBG side. We saw that TSM, of course, were trialing Bang a while ago, Bang Zera, and that clearly didn't work out. It doesn't seem like they want to move in that direction, but BBG are actually bringing him in. Not sure if this is a pickup. I imagine this is kind of a pickup situation for this community gaming Valorant Elite Showdown tourney, but still, they're bringing in Bang Zera briefly here, the BBG roster. Whether he stays on this team or what happens there, who knows, but definitely an organisation with a decent amount of capital behind them, so maybe they can make something work here. But that might be something which is going on right now behind the scenes. This also then from the TSM side. So today we part ways with Hazed. We talked about this yesterday, the rumours that Hazed was going to be departing from TSM. You were with us from the start through the ups and downs. You were steadfast, an excellent teammate, and a pleasure to be around. You'll forever be a part of the TSM family. Wish you nothing but the best. A lot of people are pretty sad about this, to be honest, that Hazed is now departing from the roster. And again, he obviously had some great moments on the squad. But at the same time, he goes on to say in a couple of minutes here that effectively, they were aware, or at least he was effectively dropped from the team, right? They didn't believe in him necessarily going forwards, and that it was actually the key piece they needed for the squad, and as a result, they decided to part ways. Of course, what it does mean is that their IGL in Hazed has effectively gone elsewhere. Now, what are they going to do on the IGL front, right? Do they need another IGL? That is a question which is certainly being raised at the present time. We'll talk about that in the coming minutes. This is what Hazed said. Had a blast representing TSM and playing with the boys. Shout out to the TSM fans. You're all amazing. Always kind to me. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And a few replies to this as well, like we had, FNS, for example, and the guys just saying, keep your head up. Hopefully you end up in a good spot. NRG Valorant has a new look then. So this is what we discussed yesterday. The rumor that NRG were going to be picking up Hazed. Now, this does make a fair bit of sense, right? Solomon and Hazed coming together, and also in terms of what they needed from their roster, bringing in a new IGL. So a nice move, I think, for the NRG side, and there'll be some nice situations right here, especially with what Hazed is going to say in a second, that effectively TSM and the roster stopped believing in me, and this is an opportunity for really to get my own back in a sense. We'll have a look at what the rosters could potentially be here in a couple of minutes, but definitely going to be an entertaining team as well. Hazed, Sob, the vibes are certainly going to be through the roof on this one. FNS says, I knew it, it's going to happen, and we also get this from Corey, right, who apparently is going to go to TSM. We'll have a look at that here in just a second, but Hazed x Som, this environment about to be unmatched. So exciting streams, I'm sure, coming up soon, but also could be a very scary squad. There's certainly a lot of talent here for a roster that hasn't really done so far in their Valorant career. Now, as Hazed says, the year long gone, finally getting Som and Hazed back in business together alongside Android and the other guys we'll discuss here in a second. This is what Hazed clarifies though about the TSM situation. Just wanted to clarify because I've read that I left TSM. I did not leave TSM. He basically says I did not necessarily want to leave TSM, right? I like TSM, I like the fans, I liked being there, but I was removed. But NRG had showed interest in me in the past and had considered the move for some time. Happy to be here. Still love the guys though. So no bad blood necessarily. He kind of clarifies the difference here between the situations. One implies I didn't believe in the team anymore if I left the roster. The other implies they did not believe in me anymore. So despite still love the guys, but at the end of the day, they decided to kick you effectively because they didn't believe that Hazed could bring anything valuable to the squad. Not anything valuable, but they think they could upgrade, right? So I'm sure Hazed is looking to get his revenge really now being part of NRG. These are the rosters we expect to see. From the TSM side, Subrosa, Wardell, and Livy are the expected three, but and bringing Corey and Tig into the roster, that remains to be seen. But still, will they actually change up this roster? We kind of heard that possibly Subrosa and Wardell are going to stay, and Corey from FaZe, Tig from LG. Now, whether they get both of those guys or whether they get one of those guys, I don't really know what they're thinking right now. That, of course, very much remains to be seen. TSM still to confirm firm. The dominoes are very much falling in the pro scene at the current time. Of course, on the other side of things, you've got NRG, and this is going to be their roster: Hazed, EU, Samia, Android, and TeX. That's probably what they're going to be going with, at least as it is right now. And joining this roster, of course, it makes a fair bit of sense. At the same time, the dominoes, as I say, are certainly falling. This, for example, as George gets pointed out, like, everything is collapsing. Now, NRG Steel inbound, who's going to tell him? Of course, Steel, as another IGL of 100 Thieves, he got kicked from their roster. Boy came into the squad. They didn't have the greatest result at the LCQ. Where is Steel going to go? We talked the other days about the possibilities for Steel, and now we see that NRG is taken off the table, right? Hazed is there instead. They don't need an IGL anymore. But a team that you could argue does need an IGL is going to be the TSM roster, where Hazed has just departed from, right? So could Steel be going that direction instead? We know that, let's say Steel, he doesn't have the greatest opinion of FaZe as an organization, it seems generally. So maybe if that's an option, he's not going to necessarily go there, because this is what George said about a week or so ago, that, in reply to this dust tweet about FaZe, TSM, GenG, NRG, and Ambox, all should be considering Steel's services, and George said 3 of them already have. Now, you don't necessarily imagine that one of those would be NRG, just because they've now got Hazed, and they probably wanted Hazed for a while, so you're probably thinking they're not necessarily giving Steel an offer, or at least a verbal offer, if they want to get Hazed in. Now, whether TSM have been considering this for a little bit now, and now they've decided, okay, we're going to get rid of Hazed, bring potentially Steel into our roster, who knows, right? But it's something that could potentially work. It's definitely an interesting one, and there's a couple of other things just to finish out the video here. This from Poised from the Rise Nation side. Of course, what's really going on with Rise right now? They looked really good going into, of course, the last chance qualifier, and the roster they put together, I think it was a really impressive one. They made a great run. They lost to Cloud9 Blue in the grand finals, didn't quite make it to champs, but still a solid run from them, no things, all things considered. And well, as Poised Supermen say right here, there's certainly some interesting replies. Things are getting crazy in the rostermania side. Will Rise be making any moves? I don't really know, but still, some rosters certainly will be. It's going to be chaos for the next couple of weeks, at least in terms of these teams trying to pick up some players, but also after champs concludes, there's of course other going to be players that, teams there that don't perform, they want to make some moves. Things are going to get crazy before next season kicks off again, but even now, things are changing very rapidly indeed. We saw a couple of days ago as well that, of course, Raucus, he joined Sentinels. They finally picked up a coach, and I thought this is quite interesting from Cam1 right here, saying that, Raucus, the new Sentinels coach, will not follow the post-Berlin champions coach because he would compete again. So it seems like, I think this makes sense to a lot of people. The Raucus, of course, was on FaZe competing very recently indeed. He's going to come into Sentinels and kind of bring in some new strats, some new ideas, some new life to their strategies and this type of stuff and their tactics. And but after that, he wants to go back to competing again, which does make sense, but it does make you wonder, Sentinels, this clearly isn't a long-term coach. They want to bring him in for the benefits in the short term, but still, Sentinels probably still looking for a long-term coach after Raucus, after whatever happens at champs. But of course, they certainly go in as one of the hot favourites. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I looks like you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thanks for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.